Hello, everyone. Welcome. People are constantly joining, so we'll take another minute or two and we'll let people join. Please hold. Um, can you give me feedback? You can hear me? Someone, just to make sure you can see and hear. בואי רגע. את בחרת את המיקרופון. זה רגיל, אני שומע אותי חלק. זה מה שסוגר. אוקיי. Okay, so assuming you can hear me, people are still joining, so I will take another 2 minutes. So please hold with us while people are joining. Thank you. We'll start in 2 minutes. Okay, thank you very much for joining us today, for joining me. Welcome to our future SCORE webinar for 2019. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to speak with you today. While people are still joining us, I would like to start with what we are going to do today. So we are going to have a very short review of what we did in 2018, not everything, just a few notes. And then we would like to tell you about the new developments in the new 4.5 release that we will release in the first quarter of 2019. And then most important is to show you the options for development we are considering for version 5 that will come later in 2019. And here we would like to hear your feedback and know what you think about it. We want to get you involved in what we are doing. And after that, we will have a short discussion. Note that during the presentation, our team are on the chat. So you can ask any question, comment, and so on, and they will respond to your questions. And they will also collect everything that you noted, and we'll refer to that in the discussion part. So let's start. And I would like to take a minute to talk about the past, since we're already getting to the end of the decade. It's a good opportunity to remember where we started. So OpenLM started in 2007 as an idea to enhance the utilization of Esri ArcGIS floating licenses. And that's where we started, a mechanism that was able to save the project, close it, and release the license back to the license pool. In the picture, you see us in the first conference where we presented our solution. At that time, we only supported Esri. It was really the beginning. And a nice story about that is, after a while, we got a phone from a customer, Louis, from Switzerland. The company is still a customer. And Louis said, that's nice, but why only Esri? I have different vendors. I would like to manage it. So we added the support for other vendors, and he proudly showed us how everything shows up in his system. After a while, we got a phone from Clara from Spain, also a customer from the beginning, and say, okay, save as close for Esri is nice. We want that for Autodesk. And we did that also. So just to end this point is some screenshots we found from the early versions of OpenLM. This is 1.5, really an early version of the system. And let's move forward to 2.18. 2.18 was a very good year for OpenLM. We have released 4 new major versions, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4. Each is addressing a very specific requests from customers. And OpenLM is now a group of companies. So we have the mother company in Israel, but we also have an American company and the European company, and we are now starting an activity in Japan. We upgraded our support service, and we give you 24/6 support services. We have more than 30 different license managers that are supported, the most from any company in the market. And we passed the RAF of 10,000 customers, which has OpenLM on-premise installation. We also have customers that are using the SaaS services. In 2.18, we started a rebranding of our products, and we also changed the way we present the product to customers. So OpenLM became a platform that allows us to offer multiple products. And the activity of monitoring engineering licenses is now under the name of OpenLM for engineering licenses. And now this is not the only capability we provide. We provide OpenLM Applications Manager, which is the ability to monitor and manage any software system, regardless of the licensing. We have OpenLM License Allocation Manager, and we have OpenLM license router. So customers that has been with us long time, they know that all the products that I present here started as an extension, and yes, that's the way we work. Everything starts as an extension, and then if it goes well, we make it a product. From the customer point of view, you're getting the same set of software. So you get the interface, you get the database, you get services. But there are different capabilities for each of the products that is actually implemented by different license files. So now we have customers that use the traditional OpenLM for engineering licenses. That's most of our customers. But recently we have customers that are only using the application manager. Some of them even use the license allocation manager side by side with other solutions. Maybe something they develop in-house, but they need the license allocation manager capability, and they implement it side by side with their solution. With any of the products, you can also get one of the extensions. So this still exists as before. And just to get used to the new naming and the new logos, so here you see it in a bigger picture. So we need to get used to the new names. You need to get used to it. But hopefully we won't change it again in the near future. So we worked very hard to get these names that are clearer and you can and us can work with. So that's about 218. We would like to look forward and move to 219. And I'm going to start with the content of version 4.5. The content of this version is closed, so nobody can change it now. I would like to present what we are doing. And after that, we will speak about the next version, and there you have an influence and you can say what you prefer. Cloud License Manager is something that comes in recently. Many vendors are now offering a cloud licensing as part of their, as a new offering or as completely the total offering. So the market is changing and we are moving forward with the market. We will announce the support for these three license managers in the next version, 4.5. So it's ArcGIS online. Esri still has a large offering of different licensing, including network licensing, and you can use it. Autodesk is also supporting the older network licenses. They're still offering token flex licensing, which is actually floating, but also they have the subscription cloud licensing that we are supporting. And of course, Adobe is now actually a new vendor that we support it with the cloud licensing. We continue the effort to support License Manager. And here, it's very important for us to the ability to work with you and to support the License Manager that you actually need. We got to this number of 30 different license managers just because we can work with you on that. We recently added NVIDIA, which is the ability to monitor the license allowance of users on server-based graphic cards of NVIDIA. This is already working, but we will improve it in version 4.5. And now we are adding support to Avid. These two systems are both using the FlexNet Embedded. It's a new licensing offered to vendors by Flexera. It's built for this era of cloud licensing, IoT devices. It has a small footprint. It offers the vendor a lot of customization options, and it's very flexible. So we also support it and looking forward to implement it with you. Yeah, Autodesk Token Flex. What is it? It's actually a network licenses type of tokens. It's not a reusable tokens. It's tokens that you're using once and they are gone. A customer needs to buy usually a large amount of tokens. We have customers that purchase 6 million tokens in the beginning of the year and are going to utilize it during the year. And it's a good it's a flexible solution because you can utilize the tokens to use any product. You don't need to choose the product you're using when you purchase the tokens. The problem is how to decide on the number of tokens you're going to buy, because typically, if you don't utilize all the tokens, you will lose these tokens that you actually purchased. If you underestimated and you need to buy more tokens in the end of the year, you will pay a lot more for each token. So how can OpenLM help? And we will help you to predict the number of tokens. So we can work with you on that. You can use OpenLM to do that. We will constantly monitor and analyze the usage. So you can see whether we're going into a problem. And the Autodesk Token Flex still suffers from the problem of someone leaving an idle software. So we will close it as needed in order to avoid taking another set of token when nobody is going to use it. And we will control time zone waste. So I don't want to go into details, but the ability sometimes when the user is not located in the same time zone as the server, you might switch and consume more token in the middle of the day, which is something you don't want to happen. Now, OpenLM will do all that for you, and we can provide that as a service. So you don't buy the system, you get the service from us, or you can buy the system and implement it by yourself. Performance. So in 2018, we had two huge customers that joined. One is the Israeli aviation industry and German automotive leader in the market, huge companies. And they have more than 15,000 engineers using different software and applications. It's not only server-based licensing, so we are talking about both applications manager and also traditional FlexLM, DSLS licensing. So it's a huge activity, a lot of users. We really upgraded everything in order to support it, and these two customers are happy and are already working. But we didn't stop there. And in version 4.5, we will shorten the startup times of the system. So regardless of the number of license manager you have, we will start quicker. You can do changes in the configuration and you won't need to restart it, which is very bothering and also disturbing the system that is actually collecting information. And we also improve the analysis of the data, and the timing is better and it's happening in a faster manner. So we continue the improvement of the performance and we are looking forward for your feedback about that. We got into an ongoing process of moving more and more configuration settings from our server configuration form to the web interface. So this way, everyone that has the permission can access it, change it without logging into the server. It's an ongoing process, and you will see many improvements in this version 4.5 already. Security. So this is also coming from two big customers we dealt with in 2018. The requirements for security were very high, and we already started to upgrade our systems. So you will see that we enforce password policy on a very wide manner. Over all the system, you will need to log into the system, each of the components, and so on. And we're going to take it forward even to the next version. So this is something we were really required to do recently, and we are doing that. LDAP. So most of you are using LDAP to synchronizing our system with LDAP in order to get the user. That's essential. Feedback we got on many implementations is that once you configure it, immediately it starts to synchronize, and then it's not always the ideal time to do that. It takes time, it's a very consuming process. So in this new version, you can control when the synchronization will happen. Also, the configuration only contains the hour on the day when it happened. You couldn't say, okay, maybe I want to do it once a week, or maybe only on this specific day. So now you will be able to do it. You can control the synchronization time. It won't happen without control. So you won't be surprised again. And we will also alert you if there are problems. For example, if synchronization is too long and maybe it's still synchronizing and the next synchronization will start, then we will tell you that. So you can say, okay, maybe if I synchronize every day, I will change it to every 2 days, or maybe once a week, as needed. Report scheduler. So report scheduler has different problems, but in the current version, we will at least solve one problem. That a request that came from many users is to be able to send a CSV and not only a screenshot of the data. So this is coming in, and you will be able to do it. It's not the end. We're still handling this, and we expect. I will speak about what we plan to do on version 5, and we would like to hear your feedback about it. Next is Reporting Hub. So I hope that everyone is aware of the Reporting Hub. It's very popular within our customers, mostly the medium-sized and big customers. It allows you to, so OpenLM actually provides you an ETL. It's a service that maintains a reporting database side by side with the OpenLM database. This database allows you to do your reporting using any BI tool. So you can just target your BI tool to the database, and you can produce a huge amount of great reports. You can completely customize to what you need. And it's I want to show you some example of report. We have many implementations. So here you see a usage chart, usage chart with the denials built on top. So you see when there is a load, there is also a denial. We have a licenses that not in use. This is it also exists in OpenLM, but you have a much sophisticated report. You need to understand that something that also exists in the user interface is actually competing with the ongoing actions of OpenLM trying to process the data. That's why we moved it to separate database. This way you can produce huge reports, processing large amount of data while the system is continuing to process the ongoing data and provide service to users. So we can see max license utilization on each hour, each day, what is going on, what's the utilization, another activity report, and also a nice report that shows the procurement, recommended procurement based on number of denials. So in that case, we show the usage and denials, and we can see that we recommend to buy another 12 licenses in order to cope with the demand. These are just examples of reports. You can do whatever you want. As part of the package, we provide a set of reports that we develop for customers, and every time we develop more, we provide it. Application manager. So a few words about the application manager. So it was initially developed to support Bentley licensing. Why Bentley licensing? Bentley didn't allow customers to control their expenses, and application manager is actually controlling the activation of the software based on the customer preferences. About Bentley, we are now able to support it much better. It works very well. We have sites that completely implemented it over all their Bentley software, and they have a full control over the expenses. The configuration is now easier and will be even easier in 4.5. You can create a configuration for one workstation and then easily distribute it to all agents automatically from the browser interface. And the nice thing about it that we have different implementation. And we have a customer implementing it on Microsoft software, even Adobe software. And we are looking forward to work with you. So if you have a software, it doesn't matter which one, that you have hard time to control it. You have compliance issues. So you have the obligation to limit the number of users, but the vendor didn't provide you the tools to do that. Maybe you have a license manager, but it doesn't provide you all the control you need. We are here to help, and application manager can do it. So let us know and let's talk. Let's see what we can do together. For a very long time, we didn't develop any save and close extension. So as you might know, we have the ability to close idle sessions for many years. And this is actually the single action that can save a company most of the money. So it's amazingly efficient to do it. And traditionally, we support Esri, Autodesk, MATLAB, and SolidWorks. These are the 4 systems that we currently support. And now we are adding these 3. This is a request from a long-time customer in the oil industry that actually asked us to support it. Since there was no way to develop an extension, that's what we did with the other software. So in Autodesk, for example, we have an extension. The extensions report to OpenLM about what is going on, are we actually using it, and as needed, OpenLM server can command the extension to save the project, close it, and release the license back to the license pool. We will now do it for these three systems. They are all very expensive. I'm sure that many of you are also using them. But the technology we developed in order to do it can actually work for other systems. So if you have other systems, something that you need to save and close, you have many users that try to use it, licenses are very costly, and you would like to do it in a more efficient way, let us know. Next, Java. So as you know, Oracle, the owner of Java, has changed the policy, and from the end of 2018, Oracle Java 8 will get no updates. That means that we need, and it's we OpenLM, and you also as a customer, we need to upgrade and start to use version 11 of Java. Now, in version 11, license is different. You have a commercial license offered by Oracle, and in order to use it, you need to pay Oracle fee. If you want the commercial license, you can speak with us. We're trying to get to an agreement with Oracle that will allow us to resell the licenses to you. That means that it will save you money. So if you buy it from us, it will be a limited license for our application. So for example, for the broker, or for another Java component or router, and it will cost less than what you would pay if you buy a license for the server. So that's one option. It's only an option. Another option, and that's what we are going to use, we're going to use OpenJDK. OpenJDK is a project that Oracle supports, and it provides an open source and JDK that we can use and other vendors, and we can use in order to continue and use Java and distribute the software. So we are going to provide OpenJDK with the software, but one thing, we will try to release updates from time to time to the software, to our software, and also to the Java infrastructure, just in order to provide you security updates, but we won't be able to do it for every update from Oracle, from OpenJDK. So you will need to be responsible for that. So when there are updates, you need to update the infrastructure, and we will try to also to help with us, to help and to release a new version as possible. Services. So OpenLM, we have requests from customers that told us that they don't have the ability to, or the people, to keep the system running, to update, to manage license servers, and so on. So we offer companies to do that for them, and we have some customers. We will offer a set of services and extend that during 2019. So it goes like that. OpenLM Health Check is a service to check OpenLM system to make sure everything configured correctly, and this is the first service you will be exposed to. I will show some details about it next. OpenLM Managed System is normal OpenLM system, can be installed on premises or on cloud, but we will take care of it. We will update, upgrade, solve any problems. Our team will do it. You can just enjoy the benefits of the system. We can also host and manage license server. So host license server on our infrastructure, on the cloud, and you can use it, or we can manage your license server on premises or on cloud, on your cloud. You just need to give us access and we will do it. We will update it. We will make sure everything works and you will get all the reports you need on usage and on anything else that you might need. Let's just talk shortly about the new service. I want to leave questions to time to discuss. So we have the health service. Our team goes into your system, checks everything with you, and you get a very nice looking report with all the problems. Of course, we will fix anything we see that is wrong. So you can be sure that everything is correct with the system. So the second part is talking about version 5. Here we would like to get your feedback about it. So I will go quickly over the different things. So in OpenLM, what we see that we have more and more users, bigger companies, and bigger databases. This affects the performance of the system. And one possible solution is to go for two different databases. Okay, one database is the current database, keeping all the current data, doing the ongoing actions. And the second is the reporting database. We will keep the two reports synchronized all the time. And when you do reporting and you consume a lot of resources, it doesn't affect the ongoing activity of OpenLM. The second benefit of this is that you will get a completely new reporting interface, which is better and more modern. So with advanced capabilities that we don't have in the current Easy Admin interface. The current interface of OpenLM will be reduced to handle current activity, monitoring, and not historical reporting. To some of you, this might be familiar because it's it's similar to what we do with the reporting hub. So it's based on that. Second is enhanced support to HPC systems. We already have many customers that are monitoring the license consumption of HPC systems. It works. We just recently got a request to support 150,000 checkouts each minute. It's a huge amount of data. It's what's called big data. We expect the system to do it. We will have to do some hardware software adjustments. And we are looking forward to work with you on that. Whatever HPC configuration you have, we can support it. And we are also, maybe if you need, we would like to even integrate with your HPC management system. So talk with us and let's do that together. We plan to enhance the security of the system. So we'll have a comprehensive authentication system for actually not only the agent and broker, any component that connects to the server will be authenticated, and we will also have an authorization capabilities, which doesn't exist now. So you can control who can actually connect to the system. You will need to approve each group of computers or servers that to connect to the system. The browser interface, we are trying to extend it and cancel the configuration form you are all familiar with. So you will have all the settings on the web interface, which is more convenient. The application manager. So some of you that already experienced with it, you know that it's not, let's say, it's not easy to configure it at the first time. So you need to do it on the end user workstation. You do it once, and then you apply that to all other workstations. The idea is that in the new version, we will detect the software configuration, we'll collect everything, fetch it into the server. You will be able to see all different software that is installed on any of the workstation, and you will be able to use the web interface to configure what to monitor, what to control, and what way. With a single click, the configuration will be distributed to all workstations. So we're doing one step on 4.5 that I mentioned earlier, and the second step will be done later into 2.19, and it will highly improve the capability. License allocation manager, that's very important. So many of you use our OpenLM license allocation manager extension. It's now a product. So the nice thing that people that might use other systems, maybe for Flexera, they don't have this capability to control options file. So we support them, and they can use OpenLM license allocation manager side by side with their system. Maybe something they developed in-house. Now, the limitation of license allocation manager is that it currently only supports the FlexLM options file. And there are different limitations, like one file, it doesn't support timing and so on. The request that came from some customer is to support any license manager. So for example, DSLS, LMX, and other that also has similar mechanism. And also to extend the functionality with multiple files per port or per server. And the ability to set the time where each options file is in effect. So you can say one file is for the morning and the other for the evening, and this is changing for this group and that group, and to support a more intuitive interface with groups and everything. And so we actually designed it. We even started to develop it. We want to make sure that there are more customers that are interested in it. So if you feel that this can help you, we'll be more than happy to know that and to understand what are your requirements, and we might be able to bring it to life. The agent. So there are a few things about the agent now. I have to say that we're already developing this. So as you might know, we use .NET. .NET is a development platform for Microsoft, and we use it on the server component and also on the agent. Now, the new version that Microsoft released is called .NET Core. It's a new version, it's better, but the best thing about it is that it supports multiple platforms. So it can be Unix, Linux, macOS, Windows, whatever you are using, we can run the software there. So we started with the agent, and we are currently upgrading it to .NET Core. It will be more lightweight, more capable, and you can run it on any platform. So this is actually already happening. And we think whether we should spend time on supporting offline agent. What is offline agent? So maybe someone is not connected to the network for some reason. It might be borrow the license and going out to the field just to travel, or maybe named licenses on a laptop. many other reasons. So when you disconnect, OpenLM is no longer monitoring. So let's say I took my laptop, I took a license, and I'm going for a trip for 2 weeks. I came back. Nobody knows whether I actually used the software or not. Maybe I just took it for nothing. So it's very important to monitor that and to know that. Offline agent will monitor the usage even when I'm out of the office and not connected to the network. And when I reconnect to the network, it will send all the usage data to the server. So it gives you valuable information, but not only to you, also to the end user. So that's how you use it. Next time, would like to borrow a license or not? That's the question. And we also consider to allow you to remotely control logging level on the agent and to collect the log from the agent to the server. Many of you are using Linux Unix server and don't install any GUI on it. So it's just a command line. It's the best way to host a licensed server. That's how we do it also. But it's how to configure the broker on such configuration. And the option here is to allow web-based configuration. So you target the browser to the broker and you can configure everything remotely. We think it's important. We want to see how many people actually vote for that. So that's a summary of some of the features we would like to hear your feedback about. And after the session, Noah will send you a link and hopefully you can give us feedback, whether you need it or not. Maybe also write a few words. And if you need other features, you're more than welcome to specify this. As said, we support you 24 hours, 6 days a week, but we won't do that on the January 23 to the 27 because we are going on a worldwide conference for all OpenLM workers from the US and from Europe and from the Far East. And we will work there to try to improve the service we provide to you. So during these days, we will be only respond to urgent cases. So please take that into consideration. And last thing I wanted to say is we are very grateful to users that worked with us on case studies, and it was very helpful, and also to the end users, which got attention and feedback. And we have these case studies. There are more on our website. You can see implementations of different users. And I'm inviting you to do that with you. It's also to your benefit. And usually organizations will approve this. Note that Michal from our side that is doing that will do most of the work with you. So you just need to explain and we do most of the writing. So at this stage, I will be grateful to hear your questions and response to it and maybe have a discussion here. So it's now open to questions. While you prepare, we got some questions that came in advance. I see, okay. So there is a question about Slamburger usage of software. This company, they have some licenses they own. So let's say 30 licenses they own. And over that, they have a per use licenses called PPU. This exists in other systems. So there are different names, different vendors and systems. And the request is for the user to know whether he's consuming a pay-per-use license or a license the company owns. Of course, the pay-per-use license is very costly. So how can we implement it? Actually, very easy. We have the alert system of OpenLM. In the alert system, you can configure a condition that say, alert me when we go over 100%. So let's say I have 30 licenses owned. I put the alert on 100%. So above 100%, everyone that will pull a license will get the alert. Now, I need to make sure to mark that the alert goes to the user also, not only to the administrator, maybe I don't want it at all, but the user itself needs to know that there was a problem and he's using a pay-per-use license. Second question we have here, 1 minute, is about, using hybrid licensing. So hybrid licensing, it's something that comes in very strongly from different vendors, different users. You can have some network licenses, and you can have single-use licenses. You can have cloud licenses, and so on. We are trying to work with you and to support as many license manager and as many licensing schemes as possible. At the moment, you see, we will announce the support for these 3 cloud license manager, and then you get, okay, let's say you have 10 licenses, network licenses, and maybe another 5 on the cloud. So in OpenLM, you will see 2 license managers, but the vendor and the vendor is the same, and in the reporting, you can get either a separate report for each licensor, or you can get it as consolidated. So you can see exactly how many are utilized anytime and so on. Now, how is it implemented? Typically, it depends on the license manager. So some are monitored directly by OpenLM, and for some others, you might need the applications manager because there is no license manager we support. Even if you use the application manager, you can install the agent on any workstation, and we will distinguish between people that consume the network license and people that actually consumed a license, maybe that is local or maybe came from a network service, from cloud service. Okay, so to summarize, this is actually fully supported. If you feel there is a problem, let us know. There was a question from IBM about running OpenLM on Linux Red Hat Enterprise server, whether we can do it. So as I told you, we are moving from to .NET Core, and this is actually making us platform independent. So the agent will be ready in the beginning. So we start with the agent. You can install the agent on any platform and can enjoy the capabilities. All new development done on OpenLM server, we're trying to do it with OpenLM, with .NET Core. So yes, we are in a process to make the server also platform independent. It will take some time. So I advise companies to start using Windows for the server at the moment, and then, of course, we are we also want to support it. Note that we keep a cloud infrastructure to support customers, and of course we have multiple OpenLM servers running on Windows platforms. It costs us quite a lot of money to keep it, and it's also a benefit for us to have it running on Linux or Unix platforms. So yes, this is something we are working to support. Another question we have is about the BI interfaces and about using different systems. Yes, so basically Reporting Hub is that we provide you Reporting Hub is working is actually synchronizing the database into a reporting database, and you can use any system you want in order to create reports. We have customers using different systems. So now I see. Okay. So I have problem. Let me try to. Okay. So yeah, I have this window with the question here. It's developing, so I'm trying to cope with the demand. Okay, let's start with this one. We use OpenLM to manage ArcGIS licenses, and it's looking for upgrade to OpenLM 4.4. Okay, yes. There are many. We had to do quite a lot of work. We need to do with each upgrade of the license manager done by Esri and many other providers, and typically you need to update OpenLM. I think this should be supported, and yes, we invested a lot in the upgrade process. We are invested a lot, and we don't hear about many problems. I'll move to the next question that wasn't answered by text. We do have AutoCAD and Adobe software that can potentially be added to be managed by OpenLM in addition to ArcGIS. Will it cost us more? Yes, of course, if you add more systems that you are managing and monitoring by OpenLM, you will need to pay for more ports. So each license manager has ports. We add price for the port and for the additional users. We're looking forward to work with that on you. I would like to see this question about license usage report. It is planned to extend the filtering possibilities. Yes, right now we cannot. Okay, this is a good question. It's a good question about the filtering capabilities and in general about the interface of OpenLM. So we invest huge amounts of effort in making the interface better all the time, but we feel that maybe what we need to do is to change the structure of the software. So as I said, we will switch to a two database system. One is for the current, second for the historical data, and then we will have an advanced interface for reporting and query the data. This time we won't develop it. We will bring something commercial and we will use it as the reporting interface. So this way, everything they develop, you get immediately. And we are working on that, working with provider. We will need to test the performance of this such a system. But nevertheless, we continue to add capabilities. So if we see it's urgent and something, some customer must have it, we don't have some other way to provide it, you will see new capabilities from time to time until we implement the solution. Is Report Hub something that you have to purchase separately? Yes, Report Hub is not included, is an extension, and please contact sales. Can I use Reporting Hub as well to do a database connection to our IT asset management? Yes, completely. But let me explain that. OpenLM gives you a tool that is synchronizing our database with a reporting database. So once it runs, you can set it to run every 24 hours, every hour. You will actually have two separate databases. One is the system database that OpenLM is running on all the time, and the second is a reporting database. It's also built in a different way, so it fits any BI tool. So the BI tool is looking into it, and you can see the structure of OpenLM in a way that is very easy to produce reports. Now, BI tools are built and designed to connect to multiple databases. And that's a nice thing. So yes, you can connect to the software asset management database and maybe to other databases, maybe a database that handles projects, maybe a budgeting database. And yes, you can create reports that use data from multiple sources. That's the power of the system. So yes. Let's see if we have any other questions here. I think not. So I would like to thank you very much for taking the time to join today. As I said, we are looking forward to work with you with any challenge that you might have, anything. We want to know about it and try to work and solve it with you. And I wish you a good, peaceful, and healthy 2019. Thank you very much for being OpenLM customers. Thank you.